Hi everybody and welcome to kind of a second parter of a one sheet wonder that I did last night. So if you haven't seen it, do check out last night's video. Not straight away though, because, well, if you want to see how I made it, I guess go and check that out first and then come back and watch this one. So I chopped up the one sheet wonder that I made and I had everything on my desk and I thought, I may as well show you what I would do to finish these all off, because I do sometimes get questions from people saying, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to finish this all off? And so it strikes me that some of you would like to see the kind of process of what happens to actually finish these cards off and what goes on in my head and so on. So hello everybody, welcome. Hi Cindy, hi, not Cindy, sorry, I was completely misreading the name then. Steph and Deborah, hi, welcome. So I do have some punches here. Now, I know that I do have quite a few because I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, so I'll try not to make it just about the punches, but I will also talk about using other, the stamps that I already used to create the one sheet wonder, how we can actually kind of use them on the card to just finish it off, make it look nice. So I've got various ones in front of me. Some, I don't know, it's kind of obvious what to do. I've got this great big one here, and I literally just cut out 2 circles, a white one and a blue one, because the blue matches the stars, and I was just going to stick that on there and maybe do a sentiment. So that's pretty straightforward, that one. So it's just about finding a suitable shape and cutting it out. Now, the reason why I don't over embellish this is because I think it's quite nice if you've spent all that time stamping a background or a sheet of your own designer series paper, which is kind of what you've done. Why would you want to then cover it all up again? So I thought that was quite a useful spot. It kind of frames the circle, doesn't it, by sticking it in, which has just occurred to me is kind of the opposite way round of card making that we sometimes do. Sometimes, well, generally we approach it, that's my focal point, therefore I will put the other stamps around my focal point. But this happened by kind of accident, in that we created the paper, then decided where the focal point was going to be. So yeah, you don't really need to do much, which is kind of an exciting way of working. It's kind of saying, okay, I'm going to just let the process dictate it to me, rather than decide and then the process achieves the outcome. Yeah, does that kind of make sense? Because in a way, that is what makes us kind of fearful or fearful creators, because we have decided what the outcome's going to be. We then, if we don't achieve it, we then go, we failed. So this process actually says there's no sense of failure, it's just do it and work around it. I hope that kind of makes sense. I've just literally thought of it that way, and I'm quite excited by that. I'm quite excited that I could put it into words for you. So yeah, number 1 done. Right, now the other pieces, I know what, I'm quite excited to show you this one. I've half finished this one, half started it, half finished it, whatever you want to call it. Actually, I think I may have finished it. All right, so this was one that first of all, I was going to put it the other way around. You see, it's very similar to this shape here. Actually, it is the same shape as this one. And initially I thought, oh, I'm just going to put it on there like that. And then I turned it around and I thought, I like it that way round, because then we have some really nice plain space up here, and it's quite fun. So then I cut some leaves using the triple leaf punch there, and I stuck this on using the end bits of the dimensional. So there are some dimensionals underneath there. I just tucked these leaves in and have, oh, those ones I've not stuck down. Oh, that one is stuck but not stuck down. Those ones are stuck down. And I cheat when it comes to sticking these leaves on. I just put the dimensionals on the back of a leaf. I don't even I don't bother even sticking the stem. All right, I'm a bit naughty like that. Right, let's say hello to a few people. Hi, Vicky, Sheila, Deborah, Steph. Steph's not doing so great today. Please send your prayers out to Steph. Jacqueline, Mary, Sue, Velma. Hello, Velma. Tina. There we go. Steph is in pain today because it's wet and cold. Ooh, does that make it all worse? Does it, Steph? The paper turned out beautifully. The design dictates how to use it. Absolutely, which is typically backwards. But it works. So there we go. As I say, let the project talk to me before I proceed. Yeah. It was very interesting. The other day, I ended up what I call down the YouTube rabbit hole. You know, when you've just got YouTube in front of you, YouTube kind of recommends videos for you to watch. And I ended up watching a compilation of the actress Emma Thompson, and funny clips of hers from various talk shows that she'd done. And she's a lady who I do admire. I admire her for her acting abilities and also her writing abilities, in particular Sense and Sensibility. But I also learned from watching some of the videos that she wrote Nanny McPhee. So not only did she star in it, she actually was in it as well. I'll come back to that in a second. So there we go. That's another card done. Let me just bring out another one I want to show you. I've got two that are similar here. Okay. So do you remember this horizontally one? The one that it was a rectangle and then I cut it at an angle. So I ended up, so that was attached to that, like that. Okay. So I cut that up. I then used the, I put it back on my shelf now. No, I haven't. It's here. So I'll put it back on my shelf. I used the lace border die. So you don't have to have this one. Use whatever lace or border die you have. And cut from the Coastal Cabana. So I literally took one sheet of Coastal Cabana, and that's all I've used so far on this, apart from some bits of white. And I just cut this really pretty border, and I stuck it with sticky tape, with the tear and tape on the back like that, trimmed it down, and then stuck it onto here. And I was trying to think of ways in which it would be quite fun to decorate or put a sentiment. So I decided to put circles again. I'm just going to grab these. I will come back to my Emma Thompson story in a second. Oh, fantastic, Tracy. Oh, I'm so excited for you. Tracy's got the beautiful friendship. Yay. And I've just cut out a few leaves. Now, I can't decide whether to have tone on tone or have it like that, the contrast. Like that. What do you think? Like that, or like that. Have it tone on tone. The green on tone, and then again a contrast there. Now, I know whatever I suggest, some of you are not going to like it, and some of you will prefer it one way and not the other, but anyway, there's an option. It's just paper, so I'm not, you know, whatever will be, will be. I quite like the idea of that just being a kind of tonal effect, so I think I'm going to stick with that. That was my original idea. So I'm just going to stick down the turquoise element because I haven't decided what sentiment to use. See, I knew it. Deborah preferred it the other way. So Deborah, when you make it, you go the other way. Right, so back to my Emma Thompson story. So then I ended up watching, and if it's all on YouTube if you fancy watching it, an interview that BAFTA, so BAFTA is the British Academy of Film and Television Arts. It's a body of, film arts. They do an award ceremony which is kind of precedes the Oscars. So to get a rough idea of what's going to do well at the Oscars, kind of I watch the BAFTAs and kind of go, yes, this might do well. Anyway, so it's an interview of her and looking specifically at her writing and her experience as a writer. And she was talking about the process of writing, I think it was both Sense and Sensibility and Nanny McPhee. And she likened it to how I think Michelangelo used to talk about how he would carve his carvers statues. And she said that she would write a first draft. So, for example, Sense and Sensibility is obviously based on the novel by Jane Austen. So she would write a dramatized version of the novel, the complete novel. So she would just write it out as if she was writing, you know, a play or whatever, or film based completely on that script. And then she would try and pare down the essence of that story. So if you're familiar with the book Sense and Sensibility, if you've read it and you've seen the film that she wrote, which was directed by Ang Lee, you will see that there are characters missing, there are various situations that don't occur, letters that aren't read out but kind of hinted at. Because Emma Thompson's process is you have this big thing and you take it away, take bits away until you're left with the essence of what we're trying to create. Because what we're trying to create is a film, not a book. We're not trying to recreate the book, we're recreating the film. And she likened it to Michelangelo carving. So he would say he'd look at a block of marble and basically you take away pieces of marble until the figure kind of appears in it, and it kind of happens. You have to trust the process and it happens. And she then said somewhere in the interview that really that is the job of an artist. That is what we do as artists. We have all these things, whether you're a painter, crafter, writer, performer, whatever, you have all these things available to you, and then your job is to hone it down and choose what you want to be revealed. And that's not to say that all that work that you did initially, you know, of playing, of, you know, like us, we're stamping, we're doing various things, we're looking at, you know, shall I use this, shall I use that? You know, that is all part and the important part of the process. But eventually you end up with your finished product. Anyway, I just thought it was just a really interesting interview to watch as somebody who's an artist, you know, an artist myself, watching another artist who's working a very different medium, but actually it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And I just wanted to encourage you guys out there who maybe you are at the beginning of your journey using stamps to create, or you're not at the beginning, you've been doing it even longer than I have. But actually, isn't it wonderful, that whole process? It's the same process that we go through. So there we go. What are you guys saying? I knew I'd choose the right. Deborah, it's just each to their own. Absolutely. I do like doing white on white. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I think either way, I would have chosen it. There was going to be one that was a contrast or two that was a contrast. So I do like this contrast of the coast. I can't speak. Cajun craze against the yellow. It's very warm, and then just got that hint of the blue, and then you've got the green, which is not so contrasting and great. So that's number 4 done. Right, let's have a look at this one. Now this one, I thought, this is going to be just a straightforward, stick it down, leave it alone. But then I thought, let's do a jaunty angle. Let's mix it up a bit. Let's just slightly put it off kilter, maybe, like that, or like that. Don't know. You know, I'm not usually a fan of doing this, but sometimes it can just make things look a little bit more interesting. So yeah. Deborah says, take away the part that doesn't fit or add to the finished piece. Never thought to apply it to what I try to do. Absolutely, Deborah. Absolutely. Now, I'm looking at this piece. I wonder whether to turn it that way. It feels like those flowers should be in the bottom left. So let me, I know what, let's stick this first layer to, I've got just a pile of stuff going on here. Hi, Bev. Lovely to see you. So I've been looking at some videos of On Stage that's going on right now. So for those of you who don't realise, Stampin' Up! Is a fairly global company. We're in various parts of the world. And it's a direct sales company. It follows a multi-level marketing business model. And so I'm an independent demonstrator of Stampin' Up products. And so throughout the year, Stampin' Up do training days and conferences and get-togethers where we often get to see new product. And so it's always quite exciting for us as demonstrators to find out what's going to be coming out in the next few months. And so in January, we're about to embark on a new spring-summer supplement stroke catalogue, and there'll be new products available. And it's a bit of a special time of year. We call it Celebration. And it's where there are special products available to earn when you spend a certain amount of money, and it's usually £45, and I believe it still will be £45. And I have seen the most darling little flower stamp set and leaves and things. Totally me. So I'm sorry, you are going to be seeing that in the future. And also a punch to match. So for those of you who remember Petite Petals from a number of years ago, it's a similar size to Petite Petals. Just saying. If you don't want to know any more, that's fine. I won't be sharing any photos on my YouTube channel. I might be sharing some somewhere else if people would like me to. But oh, what about, let's punch a flower. Oh, I was going to say punch a flower and put that somewhere. Oh no, I was going to do that for this one. What about some more leaves sticking out? I quite liked how it worked on the other one with the leaves. Yes, it's some bees. Meerkats, if you're into meerkats. I've seen the odd meerkat. Some darling little bugs, which is going to be a hostess set during celebration. What else? Now it's really interesting. In the last few years, Stampin' Up have changed their policy about what you can and can't share about on stage, and they've basically said we're allowed to share anything now apart from the inside of a catalogue. Chris says he thought for one moment he'd got his glasses on wonky. Why? What have I done, Kay? The 3 flowers seem to anchor the top. Hold on, what are you talking about? You're talking about the previous one. Oh, you prefer it that way? Is that what you're suggesting? Anyway, come back to me on that one. Okay, so here we go. Here are some Cajun Craze leaves this time. And this is going to be quite nice to have that as a contrast against the blue and the yellow. We could even get some other colours in here. Oh, we could have it quite low down actually, because I'm thinking, what about the sprig? I was one of the 3,000 people that got mail dropped the new catalogue before the release date. Oops. Oops, Linda. Oh, what a shame. And what do you think? I know you're not allowed to show photos, but have you got anything you'd like to share with me? Do you think there's anything in there you think I'd like? You like the look of the meerkats? Excellent. I saw a little sneaky peeky of an Easter one, and I think I like it. It's got a little element of religion to it, like a cross, I think, and florals. Is that right? He said, "Is that straight or wonky?" What that was? I'm sorry, Chris. Do you prefer them, you know, angled correctly? I'm sorry. Linda. How exciting. I think I'm going to message you after this. But like, Linda, can you tell me such and such? We haven't got long to go, because if you're a demonstrator, so if any of my downline are watching this, some of you might not be watching straight. Oh yes, Tracy's watching, aren't you, Tracy? We're going to be seeing it very soon. We'll see it next week. I think I might just have to have a little bit of a online get together with my team to have a look at it. Right, there we go. I just like that little bit of detail in the corner, I think. I don't know whether to put some down the bottom. It's not that there's much room for one down the bottom, but be able to fit a little sprig in there. Hi Sherry, lovely to see you. I will love what's in the celebration. Well, Linda, I know about the flowers and the flower punch. What is there other things you think I'd like in there in the celebration? Wow, I didn't know we had our very own spy in our midst. If I'm doing playing cards, I like to offset my mats as I think it draws the eye onto the subject. Ah, good tip there, Steph. Okay, so I'm just using my end pieces. I like using my end pieces for bigger bits like this. I just think it makes them, oh, I hadn't stuck that down. I just think it makes them a bit more sturdy. And let's face it, these end pieces, they lack love sometimes, don't they? These end bits. There we go. Plonk that there. The DSP is lovely. Oh, is there a nice floral in there? Hi, Jacqueline. Okay, that's in. Right, now, let's pull this out. There we go. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on the bottom there. Shovel that in there. And then grab some little pieces. Onto there. I don't faff around with putting glue on the stem. I just put it on the leaf, shove it in. If I have to take off the stem, I do. There we go. There we go. And just hope nobody looks underneath it, because then they'll realise I cheated. Linda says there are some leaf stamps you'll love. I've seen the tropical one. I've had a sneak peek of that. My upline has shared some stuff. The one with the palm trees, which I did say to her, I'm not keen on palm. I like palm trees in that I like coconut, but as a design feature, palm trees just don't seem to do it for me. I don't know why. I need to discover a love of palm trees. Oh, Linda, you've talked me into it. I think I just may have to join up after Christmas. Ah. What do I like image-wise apart from florals? Good question. I like textures. I like shapes, I think. Shapes. I like, I suppose nice landscapes, and I'll have to look through the catalogue and tell you. Birds, butterflies, trees, not palm trees. I don't know, palm trees don't seem that pretty to me. Like I said, it's not like I've got anything against palm trees, because I like what I can eat off palm trees. It's just as a design, they're just like that, aren't they? Straight up with a plop on top, floppy thing. Not ploppy, ferny. I don't know. whenever I have a set with a palm on it, I just end up ignoring it. I'll have to start a hashtag, palm trees matter, and start trying to use them in my designing. I need to try and, you know. Layered with kindness stamp set. Ooh. Hi, Marilyn from Prince George, British Columbia, Canada. Welcome. So for those of you who've just joined, I am using the One Sheet Wonder that I created yesterday, and just making some cards with it, and just trying to show you how you can use your One Sheet Wonders. So with this one, I've just got this little slither, and I thought it'd be nice to have a kind of floral focal point. So I've just cut out 2 of the triple petal punch. I don't know what it's called. Is it triple layer, or I don't know. And I'm using my tweezers just to do a little bit of tweaking. And I thought it'd be nice to have a little flower over to the side there, maybe with some Cajun craze leaves, maybe. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, I have got, and I haven't used them yet, but I will do. I've got some of these gorgeous epoxy, glittery, dotty things as well. So we're going to be using those in a second. That's cute, isn't it? All right, let's get this stuck down. Lovely thing about this punch, it just fits nicely together, and it creates a really lovely layered, 6 petaled layered fleur. If you want additional layers, you can put more. You can make a very, very, very layered flower, should you so wish. Right, have I stuck that down yet? No, I haven't even stuck that down. Right, let's just check which way around this goes. Oh, I like monkey puzzle trees too, actually. Yeah, no, I like them. I suppose I could layer the palms going down to make them look like a monkey puzzle. Maybe. Ooh, I like the contrast of this turquoise on the... This is Mary Mallow. This is not cherry cobbler. I stamped a cherry cobbler, but I think this is Mary Mallow card. But I quite like the contrast of that turquoise in there. Ruth. Chris said he thought he was watching Esther. She sounds the same. Oh, you're not the first person to have said that, Chris. Do I need to sound a little bit more Welsh? I want to put my Welsh accent on for you, rather than my slightly Kentish resting voice, because my father's from Kent. So my resting accent tends to be slightly southern. Right. I think just a little sentiment there. We'll finish that off very nicely. Let's move on. Move on, move on. Last one. Now, I was going to come back and do a One Sheet Wonder, because I did say to somebody I would be doing a Christmas tree One Sheet Wonder. So, I don't know. I might save that for tomorrow. Hi, Diane. I do like how putting a contrast of the a colour that you've used in the One Sheet Wonder, just a little hint of it, by using it as a border, it really kind of helps to make these colours pop out. Right. not quite sure what to do on that one. Let's see what we have left. We've got a piece of Mary Mallow. We've got a piece of the Coastal. Oh, I've even got a little Christmas tree there. We've got a piece of white. Oh, I found that on my desk. And a piece of that. So one could go for like a circular there. Or you could do that. And then put some coloured leaves behind it. That. Cut a blue one. Let's cut a blue one. Have a play. Yes, please. I have a long bus. You want me to come back on live because you've got a long bus ride. Well, I hope you've got enough data to watch me. I'll see. Hi, Pam. Welcome, Australia. Good morning, Australia. So who's on here and is going to be going to on stage in, is it Sydney? Is there one in Sydney? Is there one in Perth as well? Okay, sometimes I have to just tear these apart because I don't like always using them in that configuration. It kind of gets a bit samey because you see so many people using them in that configuration that I think sometimes it's nice to break them apart and use them as individuals. See? Because what can happen is that after a while, after you've seen cards made with the same product, you can go, oh, I've seen that before. And so when you just see one little sprig instead of the two together in that same formula, you go, oh, where's that from? And you go, haha, it's the sprig punch. And I sometimes do it with this leaf as well. Sometimes I'll separate these out. I won't use these as a 3. I'll just use them individually, and that's easy to do. You just rip them, basically. You just rip them apart. Like that. That's easy. That leaf punch looks like seaweed. It does a little bit, doesn't it? Let's be honest. It does. There you go. Now you've said it, you can't unsee it. Right, now I'm going to have to stamp my sentiment because I'm not layering that on something else. Although I could layer it on something else. I don't know what. I'll show you how to do that. I could layer it. No, I'm not doing that. Let's grab the actual punch itself and show you a nifty little trick. Now I can't remember if I have to do 2 of these or I can get away with doing 1. Now sometimes you can get away with cutting this down the middle and then sticking that there. But I still have the same problem. I'm still going to have to stamp on this, aren't I? Because I'm going to be sticking it down. There we go. That's quite cute, isn't it? Right, let's find a stamp to stamp. Itty bitty birthdays. Let's see. Happy belated birthday. You know what? I often need that sort of thing because I often forget. Let's use that one. Happy belated birthday. Oh, I forgot to show you also, one can stamp underneath things, and I will do that on this one as well, just to show you how you can build up a bit of texture underneath. Happy belated. Lovely. Oh, right, now, get that open. Bring that leaf back in. I grab the Cajun phrase. So this is kind of the area that I'm going to be sticking that little cluster. I'm just going to stamp that a few times and have that just showing underneath. There we go. So it's another layer of texture there. Just to carry on that design, it's kind of echoing the design that you've got there, and it's taking it through to the other part of the card. Oh, and then, oh, I can't resist these stars. Where's Smoky Slate? Thank you, Linda. Just got a few stars. Well, more than a few. There's quite a few there. Right, I'm just going to get rid of some punches off my desk because it's getting like a postage stamp on here. That's the only thing about getting the creative juices going. You end up with piles of stuff on your desk. So that's going to go there. So I can stick that down because I haven't got to be shoving anything underneath that. So this can go down now. I was having a chat to Esther about what I call the process of stamping onto a piece of cardstock. I know I've been calling them one-sheet wonders, but we were saying that, is that actually what I should be calling them? Because in a way, doing it the way I've been doing it, and obviously there are 5,000 people who have subscribed to me and like what I do, and you don't just watch my one-sheet wonders, it's other things, but I've almost slightly redefined them, and I'm not sure if it's a little bit confusing. I'm trying to think of ways that other people would find what I do interesting, and is calling them a one-sheet wonder helpful? Maybe I should be calling it something else. So I would be interested if you could help me out here and tell me if you're perhaps a newer subscriber, how you found my channel and what it is about it that keeps you coming back to watching it. And maybe there's two categories of that. There's my channel in general, and then also in particular the one-sheet wonders style that I do, where, you know, stamping a whole sheet. So if you'd like to either message me privately, or I mean, you feel free to comment in the comment section below if you're watching this on the replay, or now if you're watching live. That's fine. But yeah, it's just a thought that I had, you know, where to we go from here type thing, you know, where else, what else can I do? What do people find helpful? Okay, that is so cute. I really like that. So simply, I've got this beautiful border. Isn't that great? Very, very easy to do. Right. So that's going to go there. So going to use the dimensionals for that. So dear Janice, who Janice from Dazzle Crafts, she's in Germany for the Stampin' Up event. I'm sure she's having lots of fun and will tell us all about it when she gets back. Oh, thank you. So you don't just watch the One Sheet Wonders, it's the artistry. Okay, thank you. But if you had been searching for what I do with my one sheet, you know, in terms of my stamping, what words would you use to describe it, Linda? Because the only other people that come close to what I do generally tend to be mixed media, people who do mixed media, or more like grungy collage. They call it collage stamping. And I can't find anybody else. I mean, I'd love to know if there's somebody else who does what I do, but generally they don't. People don't. Which, you know, I mean, there are some people who do it now, but... Okay, as you can see, I am using dimensionals, which is making it slightly trickier to get it under here, but... You found Esther scrolling through Facebook, subscribed, and then clicked on your page and subscribed to you. And I keep coming back as you explain each stage clearly and effectively to encourage people. Thank you, Steph. That's helpful to know. So people obviously found it helpful. And it's funny because over the years I've been doing YouTube, I thought, oh, long videos are just too long, they're too complicated, I've got to edit them down, make them a bit more interesting. But actually, I found that my channel has become more popular since I've been doing the lives. And I guess doing a live gives people the option to either watch the whole thing in its entirety or scroll through. So you've got the choice, you know, you've got the best of both worlds, as it were. So that's an interesting point. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, you've got to go. Okay, thank you for sharing that, Steph. Really, really pleased. And I hope you feel better soon. All right, stick this one. Okay, so I'm definitely going to have to tear off that bit there because that's not going in happily. I don't think these ones are either, so... Oh, I hope that goes well. Glad you got an appointment. Sometimes those appointments can take ages to come through. Right, I've just got these little leaves now to put down individually. Oh, doesn't it feel good when you get to the end of a sheet of dimensionals? You're like, yay! Oh, thanks, Linda. Did you guys know each other before meeting on here? That's the other thing I get fascinated about, how people end up connecting with each other through situations like this. You see, the benefit of having those separate means that you can do this little like layering up of leaves. You knew no one. Oh, Linda. So you didn't know anybody who comes into my chats until you came to my channel. Oh. Right. I think we're done. Let's have a little recap. So you could do this to pretty much any of the One Sheet Wonders where I've done an overall design, okay? Yes, I mean, I know some of my One Sheet Wonders are designed to be used in a specific way, but this was pretty much an all-over one. So look, that's one sheet with the whole design. So one, that's a long one, two, let's find all the long ones. 3. I thought there was another one. Oh, there we go. 4. Oh, there it is. 5. That was the other one I was looking for. 6, the diagonal. 7. And 8. So that was no wastage at all. That was using every single scrap of the one sheet that we stamped. And how fabulous. And some of them are very different from each other. I mean, that one is very different from that one. Oh, it's the wrong way around. Yeah, unless it's left-handed. That's that one. You know, but still pretty to have that little bit of stamping in there. So, Sue says, I knew no one, then found through you Esther and Janice. Yay! Lovely. Right, so 8 cards from a one sheet of A4 or letter size. Oh, thank you, Misty. I've seen on Kylie Bertucci's training program, but otherwise no. So does she teach how to do the stamping a whole sheet, or just cutting up like I've done, where I've cut up the one sheet and used it up? Jacqueline. Right, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for coming and watching. And if you're watching this on the replay, sorry you missed the live. And I hope you get some inspiration and use out of the template, not the template, but the way I cut it up yesterday. I wonder actually if it would be helpful if I drew on a piece of card what I did with this. I'll have to go back and watch the video and then draw it out. But if you think that would be useful, I could put that on my blog and also pin it so that you'll have that, and so you'll be able to recreate this if needs be. So I love the style as well as that you show us how to cut it up for different designs, although it's from the same sheet. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, I was wondering if you guys would find that helpful. So there we go. Right, we'll try and figure out some different configurations. Figure out configurations. Yes, Kylie does the Love It Chop It using up DSP. The Stampin' Up DSP. Yeah. Yeah. I just wondered if there was somebody else who actually stamped DSP themselves like I did. Please do share with me any links if you find anybody that does, because sometimes I need some inspiration. So there we go. Right. Yeah, she does a business training program. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I forgot also, if you'd like to use these sort of things, the gems, you can sort of dot those around the place. It's quite nice, isn't it? The odd one dotted around. There we go. I always feel like I really do need to have 3 on there. I can't just do 2. I just can't do it. Hashtag Love It Chop It. Yes, absolutely. Do you boutique design a series paper? What do you mean, Subu Bell? What do you mean by that? Can you just rephrase the question? DIY boutique designer series paper, designer paper. Is that what you think I should call them? Okay. That's an oldie but a goodie. I was talking about that sidestep card yesterday, actually, because someone was asking me if I'd done one. I don't know if you... Oh, no. I was going to say, can you grab the link? But no, it's probably best if I do it in the description. I meant to do that yesterday. I can't remember who it was that was asking me about it. There we go. Right, I'm done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm quite impressed with myself there. Sorted. Hi, Linda. Right, I'm going to hop off and I will come back and do a quick one sheet wonder with the trees. I won't be on for hours and hours. I think I'll just do an hour. Oh, and by the way, I know I've got that sticking out, but I quite like it. And I'm hoping it will fit in an envelope. I'm just going to check. Ooh, just about. Just about, just about. Oh, I'm going to have to fold it slightly, but never mind. I just quite like the idea of that sticking out that way. It's just different. There we go. Right, guys, if you can hang about, I'm just going to go off and then come back on and I'll do a Christmas one sheet wonder. Thank you for joining me and take care.